Welcome to the man cave. It's very exciting. We just got some new shoes, skins, for my 690, and so I'm going to have to take off the wheels and take this up to Elite Motorsports, since Dunlop was kind enough to give us these tires to take down to Mexico. All right, let's go. Let's get over here next to the 2015. Here's my other favorite Dunlop tire, by the way. That's the D908 Rally Raid. It's almost brand new. I think I've only got maybe 50 miles in this one. So here's their latest and greatest adventure tire. Looks like it might be smooth on the highway. And it got some good spaces in here for digging into the sand, and wraps around the side fine. It's got little knobs on over here for digging in, where it wraps around. Excellent. All right, so let's I'm going to get out my toolkit. I may actually put a 14-tooth sprocket on, since I've got this thing going on. You'll probably notice there's some cedars scattered about over there because it's really cold outside. There's another one. Okay, so I'm going to need a 32 for the rear, 24 for the front. Let me double check. Yep. Yep. And of course 10 for the pinch bolts for the front. So this is a brand new bike with only 500 miles on, so there shouldn't be much resistance. Look at there. There we go. There we go. There we go. So we'll take off the little bushes, the rubber bits. They don't need to deal with that. I'll take this off too. Oh, but before, we need to take this off. So before I loosen that pinch bolt, I'm going to loosen this nut up. We'll put that right there. Look at that nice green grease. come to a spares. How about that? Okay, that should be enough to... This comes out nice and easy. I'll go ahead and put this back in just so I don't lose it. Put these in the KTM hauler. There we go. So it's heavy duty. I don't know if that's ultra heavy duty, but I'll take it along and see if the shop wants to use it. I know this one is super heavy duty. So when I'm at the shop, I'll ask them to put in a ultra heavy duty. Okay, we're back from Elite Motorsports up in Loveland. There we go. So, don't those look cool? See? Back, upside down, of course. Get my coat safe. Okay, that's better. Another dog with goggles. There we go. I like new KTMs. They're so precision and light. I mean, everything is hollowed out, right? You can see the grease that's in there, but everything's hollowed out. The axle is hollow. See that? So that's when they say ready to race, they mean that for a reason. Use my Motion Pro tool to tighten it down. Interesting. Then I'll back it off a little bit, because what I want to do is I want to, now that it's where it needs to be, then I'll go ahead and tighten up the pinch bolts with the other Motion Pro tool. By the way, you need to carry extra pinch bolts with you. One trip to Baja, I had a KTM 1190 that I was riding with. No, yeah, it was an 1190. A brand new KLR, a DRZ 600, a BMW 800, I guess. Every one of those guys lost front pinch bolts somewhere along the way. And I think the reason is when a dealer gets these bikes in, then they, the front wheel is off. And the only thing the technician has to assemble is a front wheel. And they don't get the torque right, or they don't care, or, they're just in a hurry to get it out the door. So this is like the first thing you should check, and carry extra pinch bolts. So I actually provided, because of my track pack that I carry, I think it was from Enduro Engineering, or I got it off of Rocky Mountain ATV. Then I was able to supply them to make sure they got back home okay. What's really interesting, the Kawasaki KLR, which brand new, was loaned to one of the guys for the ride. He's all upset when I wanted my bolts back, because KTM bolts have this really cool flat spot and bottom, and he just thought I'd send along there, but there's no way I'm going to find those things down in Mexico. So I figured he'd just get it back to the dealer. Alright, so now that I've got that on, then I'll come back over here and I'll tighten this guy down. There we go. Past the little marks on there. So, hard part's over. That's torqued on there pretty good. So I'll carry the 15 with me, and here we go. There is Loctite on this nut, so it's not coming off really uber easy. Now the chain's nice and loose. Should just be able to slide that puppy off like that. Okay, now by the way, right behind this sleeve, there's an O-ring. So sometimes if you take the sleeve off, and if you don't tighten this, the O-ring doesn't get compressed. You get oil leaks down through the little flutes in here. So I did buy a spare O-ring that I'll carry with me. And I also bought a spare lock washer and nut. Spare nut. These are... Oh, that's interesting. This is steel this year. Previous ones, this was aluminum. Alright, where's my sprocket? There we go. This is the one you want. JTF 1902.14. It's specifically, it's thicker. Alright, now the thickness is 11 and a half millimeters. Most KTM sprockets are 9.5 millimeters. So you got to make sure you get the right one. Okay? Alright, so this thing went off this way, right, which means that it's got the rubber on there, but we don't need that, but the thickness part goes on this way. Put that in there like that, lift that up here like that, and then rotate it around until we happen to find the right sweet spot. There we go. Perfecto. And I can go ahead and use this one more time because you can move them around and bend over the parts that you want. Don't know where that's going to end up. But let me do a quick sanity check. Okay, so now we need our little sprocket jammer. I wonder if that'll fit here. Well, yes it does. I think my torque wrench is set at, look at 65. Really nice, plus you're able to see the, if you've got the nut is loosening up at all. So if you start seeing oil coming off your countershaft sprockets, it's simply because you didn't get the nut tightened enough. That happened to me in Baja. And I'm gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, because you're supposed to adjust this on a side stand, right? Thank you.